Yo! Hey everybody, what's up peoples? I am bringing you another guide, and this time it is for how to drop units and pick up units in transports. I know this is like, again, these guys can be quick little guides and kind of basic guides, but very useful things to know. So, you know, when you put all these together and you guys watch each guide, you'll learn something new that you probably didn't know about the game. So this guide is going to be about, for example, medevac, overlord, and, you know, warp prism, drop mechanics, and things of this nature. So let's make some marines here, some marauders. Actually, wait, let me get the exact right number. Let's get 5, 6, 7, 8, 5. Oh, made too many of those. And then 2 medevacs. So basically, guys, there's actually a ton of different ways to micro in and out of medevacs. And so, for example, how can you load these up? What are a couple different ways to load these up? The first way is you can select everything, right-click a medevac, and then it'll load that up. Right-click the next one, it'll load that up. Now, how do you unload? Again, there's multiple ways. Let's go over the first one. You can click unload to a location, and they will go to that location, and then they will drop. That's useful for when you want to drop a base, like in the corner of a base, and not be spotted. Oh, I don't know why those aren't dropping. Anyways, so again, what's another way you can load these up? The other way is you can select the medevacs and click on the units to load them up like that. That's sometimes useful for single unit pickup. And then, of course, we have the moving drop, where you right-click to a location, press the unload hotkey on top of the medevac while it's moving, and then they will unload while they are moving. And what's even, you might be wondering, well, that's useful just for, you know, unloading everything as soon as possible. Like if you're flying over missile turrets, you want to unload as many units as you can before your medevac dies. But another thing that's useful for is, if we grab this and let's go for a stereotypical Hellion drop. So again, one way to load up is you click the Hellions, and then you right-click the medevac, and that'll actually make the medevac move to your units. But if we do the unload while moving, now what I'm going to do is, here's a neat little trick. You know, you right-click and then press D on top of the medevac, and then left-click on the medevac, and then it'll unload while moving. And while it's doing that, you keep dragging a box over the Hellions that come out, and then you right-click. So you drag a box, select with left-click, and then right-click, so that you can be on... Here's what it looks like when you don't do that. So if I just right-click, click D, unload... Wait, what the... I don't know why it's doing that. It's loading them back up. Anyways, there we go. So that's what it looks like normally. But
now what?
If you're dropping a mineral line, especially early game, it's useful if you do this. So you de-unload and select, and right-click, select, right-click. So you can kind of move with the drop. So I'll do that again real quickly here. So tell it to go somewhere, unload, and select right-click, select right-click, select right-click, select right-click. So that way you're kind of moving along with the medevac. And then, so you're on the move, and then you can even load them back up if you want. So there's stuff like that. Now, how do you load up a lot of units at the same time? So let me just grab a bunch of Marine Marauders and more medevacs here. So what is the quickest way to load all these up? So what you want to do is you just hold the shift key and then right-click a medevac, right-click another medevac, right-click another medevac, and what will happen is, doing that, it'll queue up and load them in all the medevacs, basically. And there we go. And then, with this many medevacs, it's actually hard to click individually on them and drop while moving. You may just want to boost and then drop to a location and let them drop out there. But again, so what you can do is actually, with this many units, you can hold shift and then right-click each medevac, and then they will load up. That's another way to. Then you can select the medevacs and boost them. So that's one way to load up a lot of units quickly when you're playing, like, you know, Marine, when you're playing Bio. Then just unload again. Now, a useful trick. Here's another useful medevac mechanic that you should know, or like, this is more like priority. I guess this would be unit priority. So, for example, if I have these all 4 medevacs selected right here, 2 of them have, and let's say I want to send these 2 off on the map to go drop somewhere. If I tell these 4 medevacs to go drop right here, only the ones that have cargo will go to that location. The empty ones will actually sit still, which is very useful in a real game when you just want to get, you just loaded up a couple medevacs and you only want to send the ones out with, that have cargo in them and leave the empty ones with your, your whatever you have left. So if I click right here, if I click D to unload and then left click, only the 2 with cargo will go over it, and then I can rehotkey this and then send these somewhere else. So that's pretty useful to know. Another medevac mechanic, and this is using waypoints. So if you hold the shift key down with the unit, and you right click somewhere, you can queue up commands like this. So those are called waypoints, and the unit will go across to each point you have told it to go. You can even queue up commands such as attack move. You can hold shift and queue up an attack move command. So the nice thing about this is you can do that with medevacs. You can tell a medevac to go hold shift, right click there, and then click the D key there, and it'll unload at the last point. And you can even press B along the way. And no hands, they'll go across each point and then unload at the final destination point. So that's useful for if you want to send drops around the map and then not have to pay attention to them. As long as you don't press the F2 key and reselect your medevacs back. That's why you should never you should almost never F2 to move units. You should F2 maybe to organize, but yeah, you can. So for example, I can send these this way along this path, and then ultimately they'll go along that path and drop at the end. And then meanwhile, I can do this with another set of medevacs, and then have them drop there. So if I boost and then I boost, you'll see these medevacs are going along the point, and then these 2 are going over here, and then they'll unload by themselves over here, unload over here, and there you go. So those are some medevac waypoint mechanics and drop mechanics. Another useful thing is if you have, for example, a marauder and a medevac selected or a unit, you right-click the medevac, then press D on the medevac to unload on top of the medevac. And what this is useful for is when you're microing early game and you have few units and you want to drop it in and out to avoid projectile attacks. So you you drop out the marauder, it'll auto attack, and then drop it out. And then select them both, and then right click the medevac, and it'll load back up. So that's pretty useful early game. I think that's it. There's probably a couple that I missed. There's many different ways to do, the order that you do it. Again, for example, if I select this marauder and right click on this medevac, the medevac will meet the unit and pick it up. So there's another one. But there you go, guys. So those are some medevac for transport drop mechanics. Again, if I select all these, only the loaded ones will go over there. And then I can move while dropping. If I click D on top of them, you have to be really quick to D left click, and then if I want to load them back up, select everything and hold shift and right click all 3 medevacs, and those will load up by themselves. So there you go, guys. There's some StarCraft 2 loading and unloading mechanics for transports. You can do the same thing with Overlords and the same thing with Warp Prism as well. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned some stuff. And yeah, good luck in your games. This is guide number 5 now, I believe. So I'll upload the next one tomorrow morning. I'll think of something else. And yeah, like I said, I hope you guys learned something. And let me know what you want for the next video. I will see you guys later. Peace out, everybody. See you later.